was clutching the black lace thing that had materialized out of nowhere, my fingertips trembling. It wasn't mine. I never wore anything that slutty. Yet here it was, wadded up and wedged in the seam of the mattress I shared with Ethan. My heart felt squeezed by an invisible fist. I was about to yell for Ethan and demand answers when comment bubbles popped in front of my eyes. Look at the clueless heroine. She has no idea the thing belongs to Chloe. Ethan even said Chloe looks hottest in these panties. Get lost. Serena. Hanging on to the hero? Do you even deserve him? He's always loved Chloe. Dead. The guy's marrying her to swallow her family's company. And she thinks it's love. Hopeless. A freezing wave washed over me, like I'd been tossed into an ice cellar. For days these strange lines of text had haunted me. At first I blamed late nights and tired eyes, rubbing them raw, but the words only sharpened, turning nastier, burrowing like maggots into my brain. I'd even seen a doctor, every test normal. Just stress, he said. Only now, staring at the thong and the vicious bubbles. Did the truth crash down? Every poisonous word was real. Before we go on, subscribe to the channel and drop a comment telling us where you're listening from. Chloe's so gentle and thoughtful, unlike the heroine, who's basically a walking corpse. Of course I'd pick Chloe too. The one who isn't loved is the real mistress. Serena's just a cuckoo in the nest. Get out of the cross mansion and make room for Chloe. Poor Chloe. She's the real girlfriend yet has to watch the scumbag play house with this small town girl. The injustice. Is the heroine sick in the head? Clutching a thing like it's treasure? Go confront them if you dare. Coward. I glared at the pulsing red letters. Teeth grinding. Nails digging crescents into my palms until drops of blood beaded. Unfelt. Chloe, the scholarship student I'd sponsored since college. The one I'd taken in when she couldn't land a job. Who called me Big Sis in that syrupy voice and swore to be the glue between Ethan and me for life. Ethan, the man who'd held me tight after my parents' accident, whispering, "Don't be afraid. I'm here," promising to guard me and the company in their place. All of it, lies. The hero probably feels dirty just touching the heroine. When he holds Chloe, his eyes drip with desire. Plus, the idiot still thinks her parents' deaths were really an accident. Serena, go die already. You waste oxygen alive and space when you're dead. Quit blocking Ethan and Chloe's happily ever after. Cry. Why aren't you crying? I live for that bottled rage. Too scared to speak. Look. The words cracked over me like thunder. My parents' crash. Connected to Ethan. My blood flash froze. My mind blanked. I swayed, spine slamming into the étagère behind me. Crash. The vintage porcelain vase, with blue and white motifs, toppled and shattered across the floor. The racket brought footsteps. The bedroom door burst open. Ethan rushed in, panic on his face. Serena, are you okay? His gaze landed on the thong in my fist. Pupils shrinking. He frowned, a tremor of fear flickering through his voice. Serena, why are you holding that? Comment bubbles flooded my vision, each a knife to the heart. Here we go, Oscar-winning hero online. He'll have her wrapped around his finger in seconds. Look at that dumb face. She'll swallow whatever story he feeds her. Hopeless. Chloe's almost here. Drama incoming. Can't wait to watch Serena get shredded. I lifted my eyes, cold enough to frost glass, tightening my grip on the lace. Ethan, this isn't mine. Why is it in our bed? His gaze darted. His Adam's apple bobbed. Before he could speak, Chloe's sugary drawl drifted in. Ethan, what's taking you so long? I made beef bone broth, and I've been waiting forever. Her voice neared, then stopped at the threshold, spotting what I held. Her smile froze for a beat, eyes reddening as she turned to Ethan, then gave me a timid glance. Big sis, that's mine. The bubbles exploded in Chloe's defense. The heroine's gonna use the thong to frame Chloe for seducing the hero, such a scheming bitch. Chloe's heartbroken. She and Ethan are true love. Yet she has to tolerate this moron. My heart aches. If Serena weren't rich and dumb, Ethan would have dumped her ages ago. Get lost. Stop cockblocking the real couple. I said nothing, just stared daggers at her. Chloe bit her lip, tears pattering down. I'm sorry, big sis. I came yesterday to borrow pads while you were out. Ethan was kind enough to give me fresh ones and lent me those panties to change into. I rushed off and accidentally left them. It really wasn't on purpose. Ethan seized the lifeline, nodding frantically. Right, Serena. It's exactly like Chloe said. She was in a bind. I helped out, and I forgot to mention it. Please don't overthink. Panic shimmered in his eyes. He couldn't bear for me to doubt him. I looked at the two of them finishing each other's lines, then slowly uncurled my fingers, tugging my lips into a brittle smile. Voice light as wind. Is that so? Silly me. I thought something was actually wrong. The bubbles erupted in mockery. Called it. Feed her any lame excuse and the idiot buys it. Hopeless idiot. She believes the lousiest excuse deserves every betrayal coming her way. Our poor Chloe and Ethan still have to act for this dummy. So unfair. Can't wait till she helps count the cash while they sell her. With that IQ she'll lose the whole fortune and deserve it. I lowered my lashes, hiding the cold tide rising in my eyes, and tossed the black lace thong onto the sofa. My voice stayed flat. It's nothing, just underwear. Remember to take it next time. Ethan's shoulders sagged in obvious relief. Chloe's lips curved in a triumphant little smile. He hurried over, reaching for my hand, forcing gentleness into his grin. Serena, don't be mad. It's my fault for not explaining and letting you jump to conclusions. I sidestepped his touch without a flicker of expression and turned to gather the shards of the vintage blue and white porcelain vase I'd knocked off the nightstand. Chloe fluttered in at once, hooking her arm through mine, sugar dripping from every syllable. Sis, you're the best. I knew you wouldn't blame me. I simmered beef bone broth. Want a bowl? Her perfume billowed around me, the exact scent clinging to Ethan's suit jacket. The comment bubbles erupted again, each word buzzing like a swarm of flies. Ugh. Her fake magnanimity is nauseating. She's green with jealousy inside. Chloe's so sweet. Ethan's so caring. Those two are destiny. Serena's just excess baggage. She dodges his touch, but Ethan can't even be bothered. Probably thinks she's filthy. I crouched to collect the glass fragments. A sharp edge sliced my fingertip. Blood welled and dripped onto the white carpet, blooming like a red plum. Chloe squealed, sprang away, and hid behind Ethan, playing timid. Sis, are you okay? It's all my fault. If I hadn't come, you wouldn't have broken the vase. Ethan frowned, irritation thick in his voice. Serena, be careful. Leave that for the housekeeper. His gaze flicked to my bleeding finger. No concern, only impatience. The bubbles jeered louder. See, Ethan's done pretending. That attitude can't get more obvious. She asked for it, trying to milk sympathy by cleaning up. Pathetic drama queen. Chloe's scared. Serena did it on purpose to grab Ethan's attention, so scheming. I said nothing, just dabbed the blood with a tissue, lifted my head, and gave a thin smile. It's fine, just a scratch. Skip the soup. I've got no appetite. No way. Chloe chirped, eyes sparkling. You've lost weight. Ethan said your stomach's delicate, so I cooked the beef bone broth specially to soothe it. Specially. I looked at Ethan. His gaze slid away. Yeah. At least have a little. Fresh bubbles. Snide and gleeful. Serena's pure background noise. The lovebirds are shining. She's a human floodlight. Drink up. Drink up. After the bowl. Scram and stop blocking their lovey-dovey moment. I stared at the steaming bowl Chloe held, fragrant, rich, yet all I saw were the bubbles claiming Ethan had already siphoned Vance's key clients to her, hinting my parents' crash wasn't an accident. My stomach lurched. I swallowed the bile and shook my head. Really, I'm tired. I'm going to lie down. I turned and left without another glance. Behind me Chloe's dainty voice rose. Ethan, is sis still mad at me? I feel awful. And Ethan's tender reply, don't worry. She's just pouting. She'll get over it. Let's eat. Forget her. The bubbles kept dancing. Ah. So sweet. Chloe plus Ethan is pure gold. Serena's an ungrateful fool. Just wait. Soon she'll be homeless. Fortune and man both belong to our Chloe. Back in my room I locked the door, slid down against it, and sat on the carpet. The cut on my finger still throbbed, but the pain in my chest drowned it out. I stared at the scarlet barrage of comments, mocking, cursing, rallying around those two cheaters. I won't let it end here. Ethan, Chloe, what you took from me, what you owe my parents, I'll collect every cent. With interest. The bubbles seemed to read my mind and laughed harder. Oh ho, she wants revenge with that look. In your dreams. Give it up. You can't beat Ethan and Chloe. Just accept fate. Can't wait to watch her crushed and sobbing. Love that helpless face. Next morning Ethan surprised me by offering a ride to work. I arched a brow, still answering, when Chloe bounded downstairs, clutching a tiny purse. She looked nothing like a girl heading to a part-time job. Skin-tight slip dress barely covering her thighs, neckline plunging to expose swaths of creamy skin, a flimsy sun shirt draped over the curves the wind outlined, makeup several shades bolder, pure seduction. Ethan, can I hitch a ride? My shift's on the way to Serena's office. Her voice dripped honey, eyes glued to him, lashes fluttering. Ethan's gaze raked over her. His Adam's apple bobbed before he rasped. Of course. Get in. The bubbles exploded in obscene glee, turning my stomach. Damn, look at those legs. Ethan's gonna devour her in the car. Serena's just roadkill. Step aside and let the real couple heat up. Front row seat to their chemistry. Hope they stream the backseat action live. Holy shit, Chloe's waist to leg ratio tonight is lethal. Ethan won't be able to walk once he sees her. TSK TSK. He's already glassy-eyed. Poor guy's been starving. thanks to that jinx blocking their light. The lovebirds still can't go public. Insiders know that a part-time job is a lie. The outfit is pure thirst trap. The second the princess steps out, the real show starts. Princess Perfect's still faking calm. Can't she see her man's soul got snatched? Without her in the picture, they'd be a done deal. I looked at the impatient couple. A cold curve hooking my lips. Yanked the rear door open without a word. Ethan blinked. Obviously startled I'd take the back seat, then slipped his gentle mask back on. Serena, why don't you ride up front? No need. My tone was flat, emotionless. I like the back. Quiet. Chloe had already bounced into the passenger seat. She glanced back with a syrupy smile so smug it almost spilled over. You're the best, sis. I won't be polite. Then, the car rolled out of the complex. Chloe kept brushing against Ethan, first complaining the AC was cold and burrowing into his arms, then pretending to fasten her seatbelt so her fingertips could graze his hand. His breathing turned ragged. He kept stealing glances. The comment bubbles kept screaming, I'm dying. Look at Ethan's bedroom eyes. They can't wait. This is better than cable. Princess is faking sleep with her eyes shut, scared to watch. Coward. Waiting for her to get out. Main event incoming. Go, Chloe. Soon we reached Vance. I stepped out. Ethan didn't even turn his head. I'll pick you up tonight, he muttered. Chloe didn't spare me a look. I stood on the curb, watching them glide away, then pulled out my phone and speed dialed a subordinate. Something came up. I'll be upstairs later. The bubbles exploded in outrage. Why isn't she following the script? Shouldn't she march straight to her desk? The witch is going to sabotage them. Can't stand seeing them happy. Disgusting. My ship is about to sink. Someone hex this chick. Get lost. I sneered. Walked to the little hatchback I'd stashed nearby, my secret tail car Ethan knew nothing about. I tailed them at a distance, watched Ethan weave through side streets, and finally park beside a deserted pocket park on the edge of Chicago. No foot traffic. No cameras. Only a few crooked trees. I rolled in quietly, killed the engine, crept out, and hunched behind a trunk. The moment the doors unlocked, Chloe flung herself into Ethan's arms, cooing, Ethan, you're so bad. Did you ditch sis on purpose? He clamped her waist and dove for her mouth, mumbling, tease. You dressed to kill. Can't wait. Can you? Chloe giggled, started unbuttoning his shirt, then paused, shrinking against him with fake panic. Don't roll the window down. Someone might see. So what? Ethan looked relaxed, hand roaming. We come here daily, never a soul. Even if there were, you'll be mine soon anyway. With that he cranked all 4 windows fully open. What followed was pure pornography. They writhed, clothes flying, moans and sticky whispers pouring out, each sound scraping my eardrums like glass. Hidden behind a tree, I watched, stomach churning, bile scalding my throat. I nearly threw up on the spot, and still the bubbles poisoned the air. Yes, it's happening. Give me more. Ethan's a beast. Chloe's a pro. This is true love. Princess is right there watching, choking on it. Deserves it for cock blocking. 1 second pity for her. That green hat is welded on. I clenched my fists so hard nails split skin. The metallic taste of blood flooded my mouth. Perfect. Ethan, Chloe, your little performance is filed. Hand shaking. I opened my camera, hit record, and centered the lens on the obscene tableau inside the car, entwined limbs, slick skin, every gasp captured in 4K. When the clip ended, I scrolled to the paparazzi contact I'd saved after the last boardroom sex scandal. The call connected. I kept my voice low and glacial. Riverside Park lot in Manhattan. Ethan and Chloe going at it in the back seat. Big exclusive. Come now. The instant I hung up, the feed went rabid. A bloody typhoon of caps lock curses. Psycho. She actually called the paparazzi. Vicious C********. Die. Witch. Can't let them be happy. Just drop dead. My OTP is doomed. The ****** deserves hell. They're soulmates. She's just jealous. Human jinx. I tuned them out. Eyes fixed on the lovers. They were still grinding away. Oblivious. While shadows converged and camera flashes winked like fireflies in the dark. The vultures work fast. Within minutes a dozen figures burst from the bushes. Shutters clacking. Strobes detonating. Turning the car's interior into daylight. Cross. Lane. What exactly are you two doing? Cross. Are you and your wife having problems? Why are you meeting Lane here in private? Lane. Haven't you always called Cross big sister? Doesn't this count as stabbing her in the back? The sharp questions. The barrage of shutter clicks. Shattered the Park's peace in an instant. Inside the car, the two of them froze as if someone had upended a bucket of ice water over their heads. Chloe shrieked, snatching clothes off the seat to cover herself. But the slip's flimsy fabric hid nothing. Snowy skin and telltale red marks glared in front of the lenses. Her face drained of color. Tears streamed. Her whole body shook like a leaf. Ethan was equal parts shocked and furious. He yanked on his shirt, misbuttoning it in his haste, his hair a mess like a chicken coop. He shoved the door open and roared at the paparazzi. Scram. All of you, get lost. Who told you to come? Keep pushing and you'll regret it. But the paparazzi weren't intimidated. They pressed closer, flashes strobing until he couldn't keep his eyes open. One guy thrust his camera inches from Ethan's face. Cross. Don't be in such a hurry. Tell us, what's your relationship with Lane? Trembling with rage yet powerless, Ethan glanced at Chloe weeping her heart out, then at the circling vultures, and could only growl through clenched teeth. Get in the car. Frantic. They clambered back inside, fumbling with seatbelts, floored the accelerator, and the car tore off, almost sideswiping a roadside tree, fleeing the scene in disgrace. Watching the car bolt away, I stood in the shade of a tree and slowly curved my lips in an icy smile. The comment bubbles were still shrieking. Ah! My Chloe's being bullied. Bitch heroine. Die. Paps are vile. Poor Ethan. The heroine set this up. That vicious woman deserves hell. How could she stoop so low? Their reputations are toast. I'm fuming. I looked at the car disappearing in the distance, my smile sharpening. This is only the beginning. I climbed into my own sedan, floored the gas, and sped home. The moment I stepped inside, the traces of Ethan and Chloe hit me. Chloe's slippers by the door, Ethan's blazer draped over the sofa, even the strawberry shortcake she loved waiting in the fridge, and my stomach churned again. The image of my parents' deaths slammed into me. Those nights of torment and collapse. The days I'd survived only because of Ethan's gentle support, all a joke now. Thank God I drowned so completely in grief that we'd never filed the marriage license. Ethan was only ever after the empire my parents left behind. I didn't lift a finger myself. I just rang the cleaning service. Voice cold enough to frost glass. Send a crew immediately. Box up everything that isn't mine and haul it to the trash. Not a single item stays. The instant I hung up, the comment bubbles exploded. Scarlet text flooding the screen. Each line venomous enough to rot teeth. She's nuts. Throwing out Ethan's stuff. Who the hell does she think she is? Slut. Your parents died because you deserved it. And now you toss Ethan's things? Just die already. Heart aches for Ethan and Chloe. Their stuff costs a fortune. This jinx is ruining everything. Woman, go to hell. Dead parents means no one taught you manners. Get out of that house. I tuned them out and placed 3 more calls. To the realtor, list this house today. Price doesn't matter, move it fast. To the CFO, freeze every company tied dollar in Ethan's name, salary, dividends, the lot. To HR, Ethan is terminated as of now. Tell legal to slam him with the non-compete clause. Done. I opened my contacts, blocked Ethan and Chloe without hesitation, deleted them from WhatsApp, TikTok, every possible path of contact scrubbed clean. The cleaners arrived within minutes, working with surgical speed. Ethan's bespoke suits, limited edition watches, Chloe's cheap lingerie, tacky jewelry, all stuffed into black garbage bags and dragged downstairs like common trash. The comment bubbles still scrolled, each insult uglier than the last. Ah! My Ethan suit, limited edition. Bitch. Pay up. They even trashed Chloe's underwear. Wicked witch. Die, die, die. You pollute the air alive and wasteland dead. Just wait, Ethan will crush you. You'll regret being born. I stared at the now empty rooms. Not a shred of nostalgia left. Dragging my suitcase out of the place I'd once called a sanctuary, I stepped into sunlight so bright it stung my eyes. Overnight, the storm broke. Next morning, the hashtag Ethan Chloe car quickie shot straight to #1 trending. Videos and photos ricocheted across every outlet. They're half naked. Sticky frenzy was captured in crystal clarity for the world to see. Comments detonated. WTF. That's Ethan from Vance. Hooking up in public. Chloe. Isn't she always calling Ethan's wife sister? Looks can sure lie. These two are sewage. Disgusting. Serena. Dumped by these cheating rats? Poor woman. Overnight, Ethan and Chloe became rats scurrying under every foot. Wherever they went, fingers pointed. The Vance share price collapsed, and partners tore up contracts one after another. They were ruined, completely and publicly. My phone had been buzzing since dawn, strangers' numbers, one after another. I didn't need caller ID to know who it was. I finally picked up. Instantly, Ethan's voice poured through the earpiece, groveling down into the dust. Serena, listen to me. It isn't what you think. Chloe seduced me. I never loved loved her. The one I've always loved is you. The comment bubbles exploded again, this time aimed at him. WTF. Ethan, have you no shame? Throwing Chloe under the bus. Scumbag. You slept with her and now you blame her for coming on to you. Poor Chloe. She gave you her body and you slander her for it. Ethan, you coward. You won't even own what you did. Deserve every bit of this ruin. Listening to his tear-choked lies, I felt nothing but disgust. My stomach rolled like rough surf. I pulled a thin smile and answered, voice cold as chipped ice. Every word razor clear. Ethan, you're as filthy as Chloe. Both of you make me sick. Get out of my sight for the rest of your life. Don't ever let me hear your name again. I hung up, tossed the phone onto the passenger seat, floored the accelerator, and headed for the cemetery on the outskirts of Los Angeles. On the headstone, my parents' smiles were still gentle. I knelt, fingers brushing the cold marble, voice soft as drifting wind. Mom, Dad, I was stupid before, blinded by grief. Now I'll get justice for you. Back from the graves, I rang the best private investigator in town and cut straight to the chase. Look into my parents' crash. Focus on Ethan. I want every detail. Those days, I juggled the wreckage inside Vance while waiting for the investigators' updates. The bubbles never stopped. Raining new curses daily. The heroines lost it. Right. Still investigating. Ethan was so good to her. No way he harmed her parents. Vicious woman. She's trying to bury Ethan. Just die already. The parents' death was an accident. How is Ethan to blame? She's just jealous of Chloe. I ignored the noise. Eyes pinned to every report the investigator sent. On the 7th day, the smoking gun landed on my desk. Proof that the day before the crash Ethan had secretly met my parents' chauffeur. Under the excuse of routine service, he'd had someone tamper with the brake system. Attached were his wire transfer logs to the mechanic, plus the mechanic's sworn testimony. Turned out my parents had already discovered Ethan embezzling company funds and were about to fire him. Cornered, he leapt for the kill. Once they were gone, he'd wrap me in fake tenderness, marry me, and swallow the whole fortune in the open. And there I was, drowning in grief, actually mistaking the wolf for my lifeline. My hand holding the evidence shook so hard my tears finally spilled. Oh ho, heroine's crying. Who's she performing for? Hypocrite. Those documents are probably forged just to frame Ethan. Poor Ethan, how did he end up with this woman? I wiped my eyes and delivered every scrap of evidence straight to the Los Angeles Superior Court. On trial day, Ethan was dragged in, his face paper white, when the mechanic's testimony, the wire logs, and the brake parts test results were paraded in turn. He cracked completely, shrieking that I'd planted it all, but the chain of proof was iron. No lies could bite through it. In the end, the court pronounced him guilty of intentional homicide and handed down life without parole. Standing in the gallery when the verdict fell, I kept my face blank. Inside, 1,000 tons finally slid off my shoulders. The comment bubbles blew up again, split down the middle, half still brainlessly shielding Ethan and cursing me, half finally speaking up for me. So what if he killed her parents? He stayed with her, comforted her, that's compensation enough. She's so petty she throws him in jail, heartless. Exactly. Ethan just had a moment of madness. The heroine's so cruel. Poor Chloe. Without Ethan, what'll she do? It's all the heroine's fault. Have you no shame? A life for a life. Ethan murdered 2 people. Jail is exactly what he deserves. Where's your moral compass? The male lead schemed for money and killed. She only took revenge. She was the victim from start to finish. And Chloe, she's the one who trespassed in another couple's relationship. She's the shameless mistress. Stop the pity act. I didn't bother with the shouting. I turned and walked out of the courthouse. As for Chloe, her life turned uglier than anyone's. After Ethan's fall, she lost her backer and branded the homewrecker. Still tried to glom onto other rich men. One night she hooked up with a married financier. His wife stormed the hotel with backup, dragged her out, and beat her until her face was a scratched up mess. Later, desperate and penniless, she sank into the red light circuit. Soon she caught something nasty, had no money for treatment, and ended up curled on a broken cot in a crumbling rented room in Detroit. Eking out each breath, someone filmed her latest state and posted it online. The comments were a wall of celebration. I came across that clip while sitting in my parents' old mansion in Beverly Hills, California, sipping hot tea. Outside, sunlight spilled over the terrace. A breeze carried the scent of late-blooming jasmine. I set the cup down, looked at the clear blue sky beyond the window, and smiled. Mom, Dad, look, the sky has finally cleared. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed it, please like and share with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing tales. See you next time.